The moment you realize what you missed. Stop. Don't scroll. Stay here. Because this might feel familiar. Pause. There are moments in life when something tries to get your attention. Not loudly. Not forcefully. But quietly. Subtly. Stop right here. A thought that doesn't leave your mind. A feeling you can't ignore. A moment where something tells you. Pause, think, look again. Pause. And most of the time, we don't. Stop. We move forward quickly. We assume we understand. We choose what feels easier in the moment. Pause. And later, we look back. Stop right here. And realize something. We missed it. Pause. Not because we weren't capable of seeing it, but because we didn't slow down enough to notice. Stop. Think honestly. Has there ever been a moment where you felt something wasn't right, but you still went ahead? Pause. A decision that felt rushed. A situation you didn't fully understand. A feeling you ignored. Stop right here. Because those moments matter. More than we think. Pause. Not because they are mistakes, but because they are signals. Stop. Signals that ask you to pause. To reflect. To choose carefully. Pause. And sometimes, we don't listen. Stop right here. Not out of ignorance, but out of habit. Out of comfort. Out of moving too fast. Pause. And when we look back, we don't feel anger. We feel understanding. Stop. Understanding that we could have chosen differently. Pause. Not better. Just more aware. Stop right here. Because awareness changes everything. It changes how you see situations. How you respond to people. How you make decisions. Pause. And once you start noticing these signals, you stop repeating the same patterns. Stop. Because now, you're not reacting automatically. You're thinking clearly. Pause. And that clarity creates better choices. Stop right here. Not perfect choices, but conscious ones. Pause. And that's the difference. Stop. Because conscious choices lead to growth. Pause. Growth leads to understanding. Understanding leads to change. Stop right here. And that's where you are now. At a point where something inside you says, pay attention this time. Pause. And that voice is important. Stop. Not to control you. Not to pressure you. Pause. But to guide you. Stop right here. Because life doesn't always speak loudly. Sometimes it just whispers. Pause. And those who listen move differently. Stop. They choose differently. They grow differently. Pause. And right now, you have that opportunity. Stop right here. To slow down. To reflect. To choose with awareness. Pause. Because what you do next matters. Not because it's perfect, but because it's conscious. Stop. And that's where everything begins to change. If this message resonates with you and you would like to support this work, you may notice a QR code on your screen, along with a link in the description and pinned comment. We are currently working toward a weekly goal of $3,000 to support a meaningful community initiative. Any contribution, no matter the size, helps move this effort forward. And if you're not in a position to contribute right now, simply sharing this message with others who may benefit from it is equally valuable. Part 2: The moment you start connecting everything. Stop. Don't scroll. Stay here. Because this is where it starts making sense. Pause. In Part 1, you felt it. That quiet signal. That moment you didn't fully listen to. Stop right here. But now, you're starting to connect something deeper. Pause. It wasn't just one moment. Stop. It was multiple. Pause. Small signals. Repeated feelings. Situations that felt familiar. Even when they shouldn't have. Stop right here. Think carefully. Not emotionally. Just honestly. Pause. Has something like this happened before? A similar situation. A similar decision. A similar outcome. Stop. And at the time, it felt different. Pause. But now, it feels the same. Stop right here. Because patterns don't appear randomly. Pause. They repeat when something hasn't been fully understood. Stop. And right now, you're starting to understand. Pause. Not everything. But enough. Stop right here. Enough to notice that certain choices lead to similar outcomes. Pause. Enough to realize that ignoring signals creates repetition. Stop. And that realization is important. Pause. Because once you see the pattern, you stop blaming the situation. Stop right here. You start looking at the decisions. Pause. The moments where you could have paused. The moments where you felt something, but didn't act on it. Stop. And this is not about regret. Pause. It's about awareness. Stop right here. Because awareness gives you power. Pause. Power to change how you respond next time. Power to choose differently. Stop. And right now, you're building that awareness. Pause. You're no longer reacting automatically. Stop right here. You're observing. Thinking. Understanding. Pause. And that changes everything. Stop. Because now, You're not just living through situations. Pause. You're learning from them. Stop right here. And learning creates growth. Pause. Growth creates clarity. Clarity creates better decisions. Stop. And better decisions create different outcomes. Pause. That's the shift. Stop right here. From repeating to understanding. Pause. From reacting to choosing. Stop. And once you reach that point, things don't feel the same anymore. Pause. You don't rush. You don't ignore. You don't assume. Stop right here. You pause. You think. You decide. Pause. And that pause is powerful. Stop. Because it breaks the cycle. Pause. It gives you space to see clearly. Stop right here. And clarity prevents repetition. Pause. Because now, you're not missing the signals. Stop. You're recognizing them. Pause. And that recognition is what changes everything moving forward. Stop right here. Because now, you're not just aware of what happened. Pause. You're aware of how it happened. Stop. And that awareness gives you control. Pause. Control over your next step. Control over your next choice. Stop right here. And that's where everything begins to shift. Pause. Not outside, but inside. Stop. Because when your understanding changes, your actions follow. Pause. And when your actions change, your results change. Stop right here. And that's the path you're stepping into now. Pause. A path where you don't repeat blindly. Stop. You move consciously. Pause. And that difference is everything. Stop right here. Because now, you're not just reacting to life. Pause. You're directing it. Stop. And from here, everything can be different. If this message resonates with you and you would like to support this work, you may notice a QR code on your screen, along with a link in the description and pinned comment. We are currently working toward a weekly goal of $3,000 to support a meaningful community initiative. Any contribution, no matter the size, helps move this effort forward. And if you're not in a position to contribute right now, simply sharing this message with others who may benefit from it is equally valuable. Part 3: The moment you realize what you overlooked. Stop. Don't scroll. Stay here. Because this is where it becomes real. Pause. In Part 2, you started connecting the pattern. You saw that it wasn't just one moment. Not just one decision. Stop right here. But now, you're about to see something deeper. Pause. You didn't just miss a sign. You overlooked it. Stop. There's a difference. Pause. Missing something means you never saw it. But overlooking it means you felt it and still moved past it. Stop right here. Think honestly. There was a moment where something inside you paused. A small hesitation. A quiet voice. A feeling that said, "Wait." Pause. But you didn't wait. Stop. You moved forward. Because it felt easier. Because it felt familiar. Because it didn't seem important enough at the time. Pause. And that's how it happens. Stop right here. Not in big, obvious ways, but in small, subtle ones. Pause. Moments that don't feel significant until you look back. Stop. And now you are looking back. Pause. With clarity. With understanding. Stop right here. And suddenly, that moment looks different. Pause. You see what you didn't see before. You understand what you didn't understand then. Stop. And it connects. Pause. The hesitation. The outcome. The pattern. Stop right here. Because now, you're not guessing anymore. Pause. You're recognizing. Stop. Recognizing that the signal was there. Pause. You just didn't trust it. Stop right here. And that realization is not easy. Pause. Because it shifts the perspective. Stop. It's no longer about what happened. Pause. It's about what you felt and didn't act on. Stop right here. But this is not about blame. Pause. It's about awareness. Stop. Because once you understand this, you stop repeating it. Pause. You stop ignoring that voice. Stop right here. You start listening. Pause. Because now, you know it matters. Stop. That small pause. That hesitation. That feeling. Pause. It's not random. Stop right here. It's guidance. Pause. Not always loud. Not always clear. But always there. Stop. And the more you listen to it, the clearer it becomes. Pause. Because awareness grows with attention. Stop right here. And right now, you're paying attention. Pause. You're not brushing it off. You're not dismissing it. Stop. You're understanding it. Pause. And that changes everything. Stop right here. Because now, when that moment comes again, pause. You won't ignore it. Stop. You'll recognize it. Pause. And recognition creates choice. Stop right here. A different choice. A conscious choice. Pause. And that's where growth happens. Stop. Not in perfection. Pause. But in awareness. Stop right here. Because now, you're not moving blindly. Pause. You're moving with understanding. Stop. And that understanding breaks the pattern. Pause. Because the same situation won't get the same response anymore. Stop right here. And that's the shift. Pause. From repeating to evolving. Stop. And once that shift happens, there's no going back. Pause. Because now, you see. Stop right here. Clearly. Fully. Without doubt. Pause. And that clarity is what changes everything moving forward. If this message resonates with you and you would like to support this work, you may notice a QR code on your screen, along with a link in the description and pinned comment. We are currently working toward a weekly goal of $3,000 to support a meaningful community initiative. Any contribution, no matter the size, helps move this effort forward. And if you're not in a position to contribute right now, simply sharing this message with others who may benefit from it is equally valuable. Part 4: The moment you stop resisting the truth. Stop. Don't scroll. Stay here. Because this is where everything shifts inside you. Pause. In Part 3. You saw it. The moment you overlooked. The feeling you ignored. The signal you didn't trust. Stop right here. But now, you're facing something even deeper. Pause. Acceptance. Stop. Not forced. Not sudden. Pause. But real. Stop right here. Because once you see the truth clearly, you can only resist it for so long. Pause. At first, you question it. You analyze it. You try to find another explanation. Stop. Something that feels easier. Something that keeps things the same. Pause. But the truth doesn't disappear. Stop right here. It stays. Quietly. Consistently. Pause. Until you stop resisting it. Stop. And that's where you are now. Pause. That moment where resistance fades. Stop right here. Because resisting truth takes energy. Pause. Energy to deny what you feel. Energy to ignore what you see. Stop. And eventually, that energy runs out. Pause. And what remains is clarity. Stop right here. Clear. Direct. Undeniable. Pause. You're no longer trying to change the meaning. You're no longer trying to justify it. Stop. You're understanding it. Pause. And that understanding feels different. Stop right here. Not comfortable. Not easy. Pause. But honest. Stop. And honesty is powerful. Pause. Because it removes illusion. Stop right here. It removes the maybe. It removes the confusion. Pause. And replaces it with something solid. Stop. Truth. Pause. And once truth becomes solid, you stop questioning it. Stop right here. You start accepting it. Pause. Not because you like it. Stop. But because you know it's real. Pause. And that acceptance is what changes everything. Stop right here. Because once you accept something, your mindset shifts. Pause. Your perspective shifts. Stop. And your actions begin to shift. Pause. Because now, you're not trying to fix what you saw. Stop right here. You're adjusting to it. Pause. And that's growth. Stop. Not forcing change. Pause. But aligning with reality. Stop right here. Because reality doesn't need approval. Pause. It just needs recognition. Stop. And you've reached that point. Pause. Recognition without resistance. Stop right here. And that creates something powerful. Pause. Peace. Stop. Not because everything is perfect. Pause. But because you're no longer fighting what is true. Stop right here. And that peace is different. Pause. Calm. Steady. Real. Stop. Because now, you're not confused anymore. Pause. You're clear. Stop right here. And clarity removes hesitation. Pause. Removes doubt. Stop. And prepares you for what comes next. Pause. Because acceptance is not the end. Stop right here. It's the beginning of change. Pause. Real change. Stop. And that's where you're moving now. Pause. Forward. With understanding. With awareness. Stop right here. And once you move with that, everything becomes different. Pause. Because now, you're not resisting life. Stop. You're working with it. Pause. And that alignment is what creates transformation. Stop right here. And right now, you're in that transformation. Pause. Not complete, but started. Stop. And that's enough. If this message resonates with you and you would like to support this work, you may notice a QR code on your screen, along with a link in the description and pinned comment. We are currently working toward a weekly goal of $3,000 to support a meaningful community initiative. Any contribution, no matter the size, helps move this effort forward. And if you're not in a position to contribute right now, simply sharing this message with others who may benefit from it is equally